Struggling with public speaking is not unusual, and as adults, it's something we can really beat ourselves up over. As kids, it's completely normal for us to feel anxious or fearful about so many things, and for the most part, we grow out of them. But public speaking is something that we can feel anxious over right up into adulthood, messing with our minds and often interfering with our work. If this is something that resonates with you, then hopefully the next few minutes will be really helpful and give you some techniques or strategies you can try at home. My name is Chantal Blanco, and I'm going to talk to you about how in Vivo Desensitisation can help with your anxieties over public speaking. Now, I'm going to be focusing on how this can be specifically applied to a workplace, but the techniques we're going to be discussing can be applied to most other contexts. Please note, this video is about using simple behaviour modification techniques to manage public speaking avoidance and anxiety, not phobias. And if you're already seeing a mental health professional or counsellor, do just have a chat to them and let them know that you're going to be trying some of the things that we discussed today. Now, the most important thing we need to understand when we think about public speaking is that it's a skill. It's not a genetic predisposition. Quiet introverts and in-your-face extroverts can be equally great public speakers or equally fearful of public speaking. The only difference between you and that guy at work who has no problem whatsoever in front of a crowd is that he's using anxiety management strategies that work for him, and probably a bit of practice. In vivo desensitization sounds complicated, but it's a really simple concept. I'm going to shorten it to IVD for this video. And it's exposure to the thing that causes your anxiety, public speaking in this case, in gradual increments. In the same way that we might get our bodies used to cold water by going in really gradually, IVD uses the same principle to help us overcome situations that cause us anxiety and trigger those avoidance behaviours. IVD can be broken down into 3 steps. The first step is relaxation skills. The second step is developing a hierarchy by ranking public speaking scenarios from the least to most challenging for you. And 3 is combining those relaxation strategies and bit by bit tackling those scenarios in your hierarchy. While it's not technically a step, you also need to create a list of rewards or positive experiences that you're going to enjoy as you progress. So let's roll with step 1. First, we need to recognise the counterproductive things we do when we try and get up in front of other people to speak. Most likely, they're going to be changes in your breathing, become shallow or erratic, changes in your posture, you're slouching or you've got the stiff shoulders. We trip over our words, we have changes in our bodily rhythm where we might sway or we might freeze. And we get sweaty palms and we have difficulty focusing. These are our body's natural reactions to stress. When we employ relaxation strategies, we're not telling our bodies to stop stressing. That's almost impossible. What we are doing is giving our bodies replacement strategies to manage the stress, helping us to reach that public speaking goal rather than hinder it. In step 1, your job is to find a series of strategies that help to calm and manage your mind, body, and breathing. To speak well, we need to breathe well, and to breathe well, we need to be relaxed and open. Diaphragmatic breathing is where we relax and open up our chests. Correct posture allows our lungs to expand fully and keeps our shoulders and our neck muscles relaxed. Meditation or mindfulness strategies help to calm our minds when they're running at 1,000,000 miles an hour and we're feeling overwhelmed. Going too much further is going to take too long to explain all of this. But at the end of this clip are a couple of links that will be really, really helpful. One is to Dominique Colenso's Breathing for Public Speaking, which is really good. There's also links to progressive body muscle relaxation and some body posture videos as well. With step 1 sorted, we're ready for step 2. We need to create a hierarchy of scenarios from least to most challenging. For this example, I've got 10 ranked scenarios here. When you're creating your own, the idea of thinking these up can be a bit daunting, so a tip is to start from the most fear-inducing and work backwards. You might look at that hierarchy and see number 10 and go, oh, hell no. What I need to stress here, apart from it being an example, is that most business employment contracts come with a commitment to support employee professional development. Your employer has a vested interest in your growth as an employee. Let them understand your drive to improve this part of yourself and have a chat to your line manager. It demonstrates great initiative, and you'll probably find they'll be more than happy to help set you up and support you through some of those scenarios as you progress. Enlist them or a trusted colleague or friend at work then to help you as well. So once you're at stage 3 of the IVD process, we get to combine those relaxation strategies while carrying out each scenario. But how do you move up the hierarchy? There are some rules we use to gauge when you're ready to progress up and move on. Your level of anxiety can't be too high. You're of course allowed to feel nervous still while you complete a scenario, but that serious anxiety level needs to be low. You need to finish a scenario, feel really positive about it, but you also need to be able to say to yourself, hey, I did it, and if I needed to do it again, I know I could do it and I would be okay. If you can say that honestly to yourself afterwards, you're in that sweet spot to progress. This is where having a friend or a colleague is really helpful on this journey. Have them present or organised to have a chat with them after. When you're pushing these boundaries, you need to have someone in your corner. Someone to celebrate those successes or give you that support when you need help. But if you're more comfortable doing this on your own, that's completely fine too. Just make sure you're valuing and acknowledging all the progress that you're making by using those rewards. So, some troubleshooting tips. Anxiety levels are often influenced by the degree of control we feel. So exercise that control. Plan and prepare your presentation carefully. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Practice screwing up and then recovering. Drop your notes on purpose and plan a way to recover from it before it happens. Exercise control over your environment. If you know where you're going to be presenting, practice in the space. But if you can't do that, replicate it at home. Know where your laptop is, where your presentation stands are going to be, know where you're standing, know your space. If relaxation strategies don't seem to be enough, think about incorporating something physical. Holding something that has a pleasant or tactile texture, something that brings you comfort. Fear and anxiety is by definition subjective. And the awesome thing about that is that there's only one real hurdle, your take on it. Public speakers are not born. Everyone is capable of public speaking, and it's simply a matter of strategy use and practice that determines each of our speaking fitness levels. It's something that's absolutely going to take time, and you're going to need to work at feeling comfortable when speaking in front of others. But that metaphorical wall when it comes to public speaking is completely scalable. IVD is a great tool that you can use to help improve your public speaking and minimize those anxiety levels. A point to mention here is that if IVD doesn't work for you, that's okay, but don't give up. Try something else. Seek out a speaking coach. Keep searching for something that works for you. And don't forget to check out the links at the end. Good luck!